Oh, sorry. Life update, guys. Hi. Oh, see, that's why I'm not doing that. I'm gonna look creepy for this. Oh, sorry, it's Monday. It's hell. I'm out here crafting, so that's why I have a mask on. I'm gonna be sanding. I have a shitty background today, guys. I'm so sorry. Um, Here, real quick. Um, so my best friend is getting married very soon, and I'm one of her maid of honors. I say one of because we're like a group of best friends. So she does, and I totally don't blame her. I have known her the longest and everything, but that to me doesn't matter. I think a lot of it is just that we're so close. We're all very, very, very close. You guys have seen us. We're ridiculously close. We're like absolute best friends, sisters to the T. You know, we fought, we've cried, we bled. You know, blood, sweat, and tears all together. Well, that sounds a little wrong, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. um, I don't know if you guys can see, but yes, I have dyed my hair red. Um, the rest of it was going over black dye, so that's why it looks darker, and my roots are bright red because, yeah, it's really hard to dye over black. But my fiance B, he has already insisted on taking me to a salon to get my hair professionally done. And I'm not too big on going to salons. I'm not, because I'm all about doing my own hair. I cut my own hair, I color my own hair. I'm a cheapo. Call it as I see it. I'm a cheapo. I'm a big cheapo. So I don't know. I might let him just to, I don't know, give him something. I don't know, just throw him a bone. Just be like, sure, you can pay $100 for me to get my hair professionally done. So anyway, let's get into it. I am making a Cardcaptor Sakura staff for my oldest daughter for my best friend's wedding. That's the whole purpose of me bringing all this up. It's a cosplay wedding. And so I'm gonna do like a Black Sails Pirate. If you've seen Black Sails, it's on HBO and it's a really cool show. Actually, no, is it Stars or HBO? I don't know. I've seen one episode, loved it. Haven't watched it since. I don't have HBO and I don't have the time to sit and watch shows. So like I have a lot of shows that I do really love, like Rick and Morty especially, but I just don't have the means to go and watch it all the time. So that's the story of my life. And but anyway, Cardcaptor Sakura is a big, long time favorite anime of mine since I was like 11, and my oldest daughter is now into it, like deeply into it. She's been like begging me to like spend all my money on getting her Cardcaptor Sakura stuff and BTS stuff because she's into that band too. That's just great. That's just great. But anyway, um, yeah, so she wanted a Cardcaptor Sakura costume. I got her the costume, and I realized I waited way too long to get the staff. So now it's like all of the estimated shipping dates are well after the wedding. And I'm just like, shit, I failed as a parent. So that's why I'm making the staff now, and it's not going to be easy, but I thought I'd bring you guys along for the process. Hey, Brianna, so good to see you. I'm so sorry it's been like a shitstorm with this channel. Every time I try to have a set schedule, I fuck it up some way, somehow. But right now, like I was saying earlier, I'm a maid of honor at my best friend's wedding, and we just had her bachelorette party and everything, and we had that last week. Hey Manny, I have gotten your messages. So sorry I haven't been able to respond. Life has just been freaking crazy. Planning my best friend's bachelorette party, having the bachelorette party, dealing with the aftermath of the hangover. I fell when I was drunk, so my knee was in excruciating amount of pain the next day. And I have a very colorful bruise on my knee now that I've been documenting the progress of my bruise. It feels better now. It feels a lot better. It looks horrendous, but it feels a lot better. So there's that. I have learned a very valuable lesson with that fall, which is don't go chasing balloons when you're shit-faced drunk. Yeah, I know. I got to take care of myself. And I have been feeling really emotionally and physically drained lately, which is why I haven't done the live streams. Just because, like, planning the bachelorette party was so hard because all of us are broke. Me, the other maid of honor, and one of the bridesmaids, our other best friend, which is actually Kari's sister. Like I said, we're all very, 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 very close. We were the ones planning the bachelorette party, and we're all broke. We're all without a job right now. So we had to do the most ghetto, budget-friendly bachelorette party ever. And it still ended up being freaking amazing, but I'm even more broke now than I was before. Which is fun. But you know what? It's what you do for your friends to make them have memorable times. But yeah, I'm making a Cardcaptor Sakura staff for my oldest for the wedding because it's a cosplay wedding. My oldest wanted to be Cardcaptor Sakura. I was an idiot that did not plan ahead to get the staff in time. But yeah, so now I'm having to sand this down. Ooh. Ah, damn it. See, I don't have, hey, zombie issues. I don't have any tools. I'm doing this all by hand. This is going to be interesting. I miss you guys too. I really do. I feel terrible because I really wanted to do live streams last week. I wanted to do a live stream to show the bachelorette party, but I got so plastered so fast because it all ended up happening so fast. I couldn't live stream when I was hungover, even though I wanted to then, because I was hungover and in a lot of pain from falling in a drunken rampage. And but yeah, don't go chasing balloons when you're drunk. You'll just fall over and make yourself like one of those beetles that when they get on their back, they're just like, ah, help me. Yeah, that's exactly how I was. I was a mess, and I'm sure it was comical. I looking back on it now, I probably fell in one of the most like slow-mo comedic kind of ways. Like I slammed my knee down on some rocks and that hurt immediately. I was like, oh, I'm gonna hate myself tomorrow. And then I just kept falling and falling, and I fell some more, and I ended up on my ass at one point, and I forgot how to get up because I was so drunk. Oh, good times. Good times. I seriously was like a beetle on its back, not knowing how to get back up on my feet. It was great. Nobody knew, too. I was outside. One of my friends... Okay, sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay. I think I just had to turn off the Wi-Fi. I had to walk one of my friends out to an Uber because he was leaving early from the bachelorette party. And don't worry, yes, I said he, but he is very gay, so it's not a big deal. But, yeah, so I was dropping him off with his Uber, and I came back to the house, and I saw one of the balloons had gotten out, and that's when I was just like, oh, I need to pick this up and bring it inside, because I'm a sweetie. I was a freaking idiot, is what I was. I'm a freaking idiot. Here, I'm going to move this a little bit more. Well, you know what? I'm just going to move this a little bit more this way. There you go. That way you guys can see more of the junk in this backyard. 30 years or almost 30 years of living in this house. So, of course, my parents have accumulated a lot of stuff over the years. So, don't judge. Oh, this is going to take forever. This is not like... Oh, this is not doing much. Ah, and it's just getting hot. I'm going to need to ask a friend if they have like a electric... like one of those spinny things, so I can just you know, do the whole like with a sandpaper where it spins it for me. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I miss you guys. So I'm gonna be like extra stupid today. Ah, it gets so hot so fast. Oh, how are you guys doing though? Are you guys doing good? Anything new with you guys? I missed you. I miss you all. I thought about you guys, like seriously, every day, every week, I was just like, I need a live stream. I need a live stream. I need a live stream. I miss my people. I miss talking to them. You can even ask B, my fiance. He was always encouraging me. He was like, yeah, you should live stream. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't really have the energy for it. And he's just like, well, don't force yourself because, you know, then they're going to wonder what's going on with you. And that's the thing. It's just that I suffer from depression and anxiety. So it's like, it's just a thing. It's, you know, you just wake up and you just don't have energy to do anything. So I'm fine. It's just, you know, depression hits. And that happens. That's life. If only you guys could see my hands right now. It looks like I'm jerking this thing off. Demonetized. Sorry. This has not done much. So my goal here, my goal is to get this to bow inwards for the rest of the staff, for the staff to be thinner. And this is to bow outwards in like a perfect, you know, rounded kind of a way, like a trumpet, if you will. And it's going to take forever by hand. But I have some, well, I have some 80 grit right here, but I think I'm going to switch to the 60 because I think that's going to be a little bit coarser and it might help me out just a wee bit more. Who needs scissors? Yeah. Are you guys doing good? Are you commenting? Are you able to comment? If you guys are trying to comment, oh, there we go. Some issues. Your hands are gonna be so sore by the time you get done with that. Yeah. Right. Right. I already know this too because I had to saw off this end piece here to make it a little shorter because it was a lot longer than this. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, it was a lot longer than this. I had to saw off this end, and my arm was already like, oh God, we're doing this? Really? Well, such is life. Oh, that's not even moving. I don't know. Well, hold on. Let me rip that off. Make this a little easier on myself. No, that's not moving at all. There we go. Okay. Wore these sunglasses for like a safety first. I'm doing good. Just babysitting my sister's very hyper dog for a week. Oh, is he a puppy? He, she? Are they a puppy? Puppies are amazing. I actually almost went home with a dog a couple weeks ago. PetSmart was, or no, Petco. Petco, where the pets go. Not sponsored. We all know I don't get sponsored on this channel. You know, little channel. We're a small fam here. Yeah, they were doing a dog adoption, and there was a husky mix dog there, and his name was Reese's. Oh my God, he was adorable. He was chocolate brown with like a peanut butter brown coloring. That's why he was like called Reese's, and I was just like, I want him. Oh, he was the sweetest puppy too. Super sweet. He was just, oh, a ball of joy, and he was so klutzy and clumsy too, and I fell head over heels in love with him. Oh, I wanted him so bad, but my poor doggy Sakura, she's a grumpy old lady. She doesn't like other dogs. Oh, your dog is a husky mix. Oh, that is so sweet. I actually, yeah, he was like a husky German Shepherd mix. But so cute, so freaking cute. Loved that dog. She's a year old. She's a Jack Russell mixed with Chihuahua. Her name is Baby. Oh my God, Jack Russell Terrier and Chihuahua. No wonder why the dog is hyper. Yeah, we had a family friend that had like her whole thing was Jack Russell Terriers, so like all of her dogs were Jack Russells, and those dogs do not stop jumping or running. Those dogs are just pure freaking energy. And then you got mixed with a Chihuahua. I mean, they're just feisty and full of like just piss and vinegar as is. So I think I'm gonna have to go back to the 80 grit because this is just, it's just not wanting to grip. Aha, there we go. I was doing it like this, but I think I'm gonna have to just do it like this. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna kind of like thread banger this, I guess. This looks so wrong. The things I do for my children. Things I do as a mother. So, how are you guys? Once again, you guys doing good? Zombie issues, you doing good? Brianna already responded. And I love hearing about puppies and puppy sitting. I'm always the puppy sitter. Puppy and babysitter. Manny, how are you doing? Anything new with you? Anyone else who would like to chime in on how their life is going? Because life can suck, and we can all sympathize together. I'm getting sawdust like all over my pants too, and these are my velvet pants. I'm gonna have to take a break already. Oh god, this is intense. Oh, fuck. Zombie Issues doing well, doing better than I was a while back, and you can call me Charlie. Oh, Charlie, I love that. Yeah, I know what you mean though, girl. This whole weekend I've actually just really just like bleh. Just did not want to do anything, did not want to go anywhere. I just wanted to lock myself in my room and do absolutely nothing. Not paint, not make anything, not do anything. I just wanted to mope. But I forced myself out of the house, went over to my fiance's, and he was really nice. He tried. He tried. Bless his heart. He tried. But it's just one of those things. Like, for me, I have a system when I get that way. Oh, yeah. We're totally ready for cooler weather. Jesus Christ. It actually got so chilly last night. I almost had to get my hoodie on, and I was so happy about it. I was out here with just a little shawl thing on, and I was shivering. It's like, this is great. This is so great. I'm cold. So I never got my hoodie. But just because I'm one of those weirdos that embraces the cold. It probably was only like 72, but when it's in that transitional weather change, I shiver like a freaking like miniature chihuahua. Like I shiver and shake like with them. But once it gets to like, I'd say like 60 or below that, then I don't care, Facebook. Then that's when I'm like totally fine and everybody else is shivering their pants off. The fact that Halloween is coming up now is helping me out a little bit. I'm excited for working a haunt again this year. Oh, wow. That is really cool. My best friend Kari, actually, she used to work at haunts all the time. She used to do the makeup for them. She really misses it. But right now she is part of a production that's going on right now. And I feel really bad for her, though, because it keeps getting postponed. So she never knows when the next shoot's going to be. She doesn't know what's going on. Nobody seems to know what's going on. That's the thing with indie films. You know, it's all a mess. But she loves what she does, and I support her anything that she does. I was actually supposed to work with her on this project, but there was a bunch of drama that started in the beginning of it all, and I was just like, I can't handle this. This is why I don't have a normal job, because I can't do this kind of stress. Drama pisses me off, and I lose my shit. Awesome Cat! Hey! Haven't seen you in a while. So glad to see you back. I guess I need to stay up later so I can enjoy the weather. Aw, that's my mom, guys. My poor mother has been through hell and back this year, so send her some love. There's one literally a mile down the road from my house, so that's even better. That's awesome. Shit. Yeah, when I worked at the Honda Museum, it was great because I had like zero commute. It was awesome, but you know, it's one of those things of like, you know, you gotta look out for yourself, and it's like if you're one of those people that have to. I love working. I do. I'm one of those people that when I work, I bust my ass at it. But I get sick very easily now, which is something that wasn't a thing before. I get sick extremely easily, apparently. Which is funny, because with my kids in school, I don't get sick as often. But when I work, I'm, like, sick all the time. Because people are nasty! Oh, thank you, Brianna. Mom, Brianna sends you some love. Now, my poor mom, she's had pneumonia this year. She's had just cold after cold after cold, which got her into a sinus infection, which then developed into pneumonia. And she's only like just barely getting over it. And now she's dealing with an abscessed tooth, which she had one last year too. And it's just like, god damn, like my poor mom, she's just doesn't know how to take a joke, you know? I feel so bad for her. Flies, go away! If it's not the helicopters, it's the flies. That's why I'm so looking forward to colder weather. Holy shit, these flies are relentless this year. And we've been dealing with black ants too. The black ants have taken over our backyard and front yard, and we've been trying to deal with them. And oh my god. Ugh, this year, I'm so ready for this year to be over. This year has not been easy on me, on my mom, on my family, on my friends. Like, this year has just sucked for everyone that I know. And so it's like, fuck. Like, goodbye, 2018. You will not be missed. I mean, granted, I did... Oh, that's right on my bruise. That's right on my bruise where I fell and I hurt myself like a genius. Yeah, I freaking anywhere that I've worked minus the haunt, I absolutely hated working. I get overwhelmed and stressed when which kicks in my depression. I love working a haunt. I just wish it were all year long. I totally agree with you. I really do feel like haunts should be all year, especially considering nowadays where there's like a whole lifestyle when it comes to haunts and just being gothic and Halloween all day, every day. You know, I really feel like that there should be some sort of like 365 Halloween town in like a little portion of every major city and like in small towns as well. Like, have like a little Halloween center. Just, you know, just it's like, hey, is spring making you depressed? Is the Easter Bunny not horrifying enough for you? Do you hate Valentine's Day? Would you wish that the leprechaun would chase you and murder you in so many vicious ways? Go over to Halloween Town. We'll accomplish that for you. Oh, God. This is not doing a whole lot. I need a tool. I don't even know what those tools are called, where you clamp something into it and it spins it and rotates it for you. So you can like do like the carvings, or you can do like sanding. I think that's what I'm going to have to do, because this is not working. Oh, this is not working. Plus, it's getting hot. Like, it's getting hot as I'm doing this. So it's like I have to stop, let it cool, and then go back to it. How? fun is it to be a parent? Ugh. It's like I'm also rotating it as I'm doing this. Maybe I'm not putting enough pressure with the sandpaper. I don't know. I'm like tearing this thing up. It's just like, kill me. Kill me. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm super weird. It's called a lathe. My dad has one. He makes pens, pencils, wands. Oh, that's awesome. Shit. Yeah, I need one. I might make a post on Facebook so I can see if any of my friends has a tool, has that tool. So that way I could just go over to their house and just get this done in like a fucking half hour. Rather than being here for a half hour, not getting very far. This is so much fun. Not really. Okay, well that's not really working. Maybe this way? That didn't do much either. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put this on hold for now, because I think that's my problem. I think I need that tool. I need that. I need it. I need it. Did I say it right? Lathe? Lathe? I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I think that's how it's spelled, and yeah, you'd want a carving tools and not just sandpaper with it. Yeah, seriously. That's my progress. That's the rest of it. I mean, it has thinned out a little bit. But not as much as I need it to. Oh, fuck my life. How are you guys doing? I think I'm gonna have a smoke break because fuck this. I'm actually out of my normal cigarettes and I don't have money to go get more, and so I'm just like, you know what? I think it's time to start cutting back yet again and hopefully be more serious this time about quitting. Hopefully. Excuse me 1 second. I have to grab my ashtray. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on, I gotta dump it out too. Alright, now I'm coming. Give you a whole play-by-play. Hold on. I need a table. Go away, flies. Nobody likes you. Ugh. I'm also gonna grab my coffee. Because, you know, coffee is fuel for the soul. Liquid gold. Let me just take this off. I even had this mask, but I had it so far away. Turns out I didn't need this. But yeah, dyed my hair red. I mentioned that before you guys got there. Sorry. But yeah, I've been wanting to go back to red for many years. I always thought that red just didn't look right on me, and then I realized that like I got the most amount of compliments when I had my hair like a bloody red. Years ago. I think I was like 17, 18, 17, 16, 17. I was 17. Had to think about that. It's been a few years. But yeah, I had my hair like this really deep, dark cherry red. Kind of like how it is now, but my roots are brighter. So not exact, but quite close. And, oh, I gotta put these back on. I'm sorry. It's so bright out here. Oh, better. Okay. But yeah, so I got a box hair dye. Garnier Fructis box dye. I know box dye is the worst for your hair. I know this. My sister went through cosmetology. She's the one that's always like ripped me a new one whenever I would box dye my hair. But I'm broke and I like to color my hair. So I'm gonna go through the cheaper route. But yeah, so I got the Garnier Fructis red hibiscus color. So if you guys want to know the color I use, it's red hibiscus Garnier Fructis uh, box dye. And it worked really well, obviously. And it's keeping on working really well because it's not fading like normal red dye. So that's good. That's a really good thing. And I like it. I like it a lot. And my fiance is going to take me to get my hair professionally done. But hate spending money at salons. I was red for about 2.5 years, dark burgundy, and then I tried to go back to blonde. It's a bitch to keep in and also a bitch to get out, but I'm black now. I miss the dark colors. Yeah, I totally get you there. That's why I was so hesitant on dyeing my hair red for years. Random haunted museum question, but is there 2 different doors that the tour guides take visitors through? Honestly, right now, I can't say. I do know they've changed the tours completely from when I worked there. Um, because I'm still in touch with a friend of mine that still works there. And they told me that, like, there was a change in the tours and everything. And so I don't know if there's a whole 2-door thing now. When I worked there, there wasn't. It was the same tour every time. The only times that we took people a different way or did something different was there's a door that would actually break a lot. So if the door was broken, we left it open instead of like, using it as like a way of like shocking people. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but yeah, it's one of those things like the door kept breaking. So we would just leave it open instead of like shocking or scaring people with it. So that would be like the only real change that would ever happen when I worked there. Now, I don't know. I don't know if Zach has done any more renovation changes in there. I don't know if there's any more new rooms or anything. Last when I worked there, we had just opened the Kansas City Butcher exhibit. So that was fun. That was really cool. Hey, Julie. How are you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you. Good to see you, Julie. Yeah, I've been doing a lot. I'm maid of honor for my best friend's wedding, so we just had her bachelorette party last week, and I had to recover from that. I'm still in recovery of it, as socially speaking. I just feel completely drained, but I had to do a live stream for you guys because I miss you guys. And just been busy. Before that, I was busy planning the bachelorette party, busy also trying to paint and get some paintings done. Oh yeah, by the way, I do have a painting that's finished that I am gonna sell. I don't know if you guys saw on my Instagram. I want to go grab it right now, but I don't want to like ditch you guys, so like I don't know what to do. I don't know if my mom is watching still, but mom, if you are, if you could go in my room where Edna's desk is, or the table, it's down there up against the wall. If you could grab one of those, that'd be great. Actually, I don't know if it's still there because I did move it to show friends that came over to show them my paintings because they wanted to see other work that I did. Oh, no, not that one.
I'm going to say this one's not done yet.
No, that one's not done. So you are still watching.
I was listening. I was watching.
It's the foresty one with the trail.
Oh, okay. You want to show this though?
It's not done.
It's not done. But
and I'm not going to sell this one. This one's just This was just a creative break that I did. It's not done, but it's a creative break. I wanted to do something stupidly simple, and I'm trying to make it more complicated to suit my taste. Because I was mad that the painting I'm working on was a little too challenging. And then I started doing that one. Thank you, Mom. And I started working on that one. Oh, Saki, go ahead. Come on. Come on. Go on. Go on. Sorry. My dog had to get around me. But yeah, so I started doing a simple one, like from the wine. God, I hate connections. Anyway, but yeah. I just looked up something really super easy, got some ideas, and decided on doing that one where it's like looks like it's whole moon. And I got mad that it was too simple. Yes, that one. Thank you. So if you guys are at all interested, you can always, private message me through either Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whichever. But I am selling this piece. This is my first original piece. So this is all my design, my everything. I even signed it, and I even signed it on the back with my little yin yang thing. Yeah, it's just called Let's Go Hike. And it's just a little mountainous scene with some trees in the background. I do have more in this painting, but I ended up covering a lot through the trees. But yeah, I don't really care for the trail personally, but my friends love the trail part and got the beautiful sunset. I am proud of that and the clouds. I really like the colors in this. Very colorful, very pretty little sunset. But yeah, this is for sale. I don't know. I think I'm only gonna sell this for like $20, $25. It's a canvas board, so it's not a full-on canvas, first off. And second of all, this is my first original piece. And yeah, someone posted a video of them walking to the door that's on the side of the museum close to the fence by the street. Oh yeah, no, you start in the ticket lobby and they take you around to that door. So yeah, you always that's how that always goes. Yeah, you always start in the lobby and then they take you around to the front. You talk about the history of the house and everything, and then they take you inside. And that still is the same. I do know that for a fact because I still see them do it when I pass by. But yeah, those look really good and very awesome. Thank you, Julie. Yes, so this is for sale if you guys want it. Yeah, very cheap, only $20. This was just an exercise for me to practice with. So that's why it's so cheap. So yeah.
Seal it yet?
Yes, I did. Yes, this is all sealed. It's ready to go. I might do an extra layer of seal on this though, just because I feel like I did very thin layers of sealant on it. So I'm gonna seal it extra for you, so that way it lasts longer. It looks nice and pretty. But yeah, no, I do remember sealing that because a lot of colors started popping a lot more when I sealed it too. So
okay.
Yeah, so it actually looks a lot better in person. But yeah, it's just a little piece. So thank you, Brianna. Thank you. I try. I've done many different things in my life. I've done sculpting. I've done, as you guys know, makeup artistry. I'm still a makeup artist. It's not really a passion of mine anymore because, I don't know. I feel like that kind of main sense of mine is just totally gone. I really don't care that much about beauty and everything. To me, it's more so about inner beauty and just taking care of your skin and just trying to be like as naturally beautiful as possible. Just because, it's like life's too short to just want to cake on makeup all the time. And to me, it takes up a lot of time out of my day, and like, I don't know. I'm kind of going through this like little bit of an existential crisis. I think it's because I'm turning 30 soon. So it's like my whole like view on life is just like, fuck makeup. What am I doing with my life? I've wasted so many hours of my life, possibly even days, just doing makeup. I mean, I still doll myself up when I go out, but just as a daily routine, I don't. I really don't. I stay away from it because one, I don't care to. Two, I'm broke. I don't see the point of wasting my own products if I'm not going anywhere, if I'm just putting on makeup for the sake of putting on makeup. I'm just not into that anymore. Yeah, and it's just better for my skin. I have had some really bad breakouts, but I think that's because my hormones changed. Because my whole body has done this, like, weird, stupid little change. Yeah, it's always fun when your hormones do that to you. It's like they do a switch and you're just like, I'm crying. I'm not even close to my period. It's so fun. Being a woman's great. I've held on to this cigarette long enough. I better just light it and get it done and over with. So yeah, existential crisis is great. I'm turning 30 next March. I want you guys' opinions on that. I want, like, what should I do? I want to do, like, I guess, like, in a sense of, like, a last hurrah in my 20s. I am kind of, like, freaking out a little bit by it, only because, like, I didn't think it was going to be here so fast. I still, kid you not, I feel like I'm 18 still. I feel like mentally I'm, like, 24. Physically, I still feel kind of 18 because I was like an old lady back then too. I was like my joints all popping and cracking from martial arts anyway, so that's nothing new to me. I've always had hangers my entire life, so that's nothing new to me. So yeah, it's like I still feel like 18 to 24, and I'm constantly carded whenever I buy cigarettes or Saki, really? Really? Is that necessary? And her tail hit the tripod. Sorry, guys. Saki, lay down. Lay down. Just, or go. Do something. Just, what are you doing? Saki! Lay down. I'm sorry, guys. Saki, you crazy old lady. What are you doing? What are you doing? She's going through her own existential crisis right now. What are you doing, huh? Oh, I pet her and then she leaned against the tripod. I'm sorry. Oh, what are you doing? My crazy old lady. Hold on. I broke the thing that holds my phone. Shit, you don't look like you're almost 30. Oh, thank you. I'll be 27 in December. Well, Charlie, you don't look like you're 27 either. I could have swore you were in your early 20s, girl. Totally could have swore that. Julie says, I'm 32 and it's just another party, so have fun. Don't worry about the age. You're not getting too old. You know, Julie, I'm thankful you said that. Sorry, I was going to show you guys my dog, but she ended up laying down. Okay. So my oldest is in 5th grade. I still can't get over that. And she's 10 years old. She's in 5th grade. And I'm just like, oh my God. She's already acting like a 14-year-old too, which is blowing my mind. Like every now and then when she gets really super emotional, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. How do I make this stop? You want ice cream? Here's some ice cream. Just stop crying. But her teacher, comes off very mature. Like the few times I've met her and everything, she's very nice lady. She's come off like very mature. So like I first thought that she was like in her early 30s, just because like how she presented herself, she was very mature, very well put together, very professional, and really great with the kids. And then my oldest told me that, like, you know, she reminds her of her favorite teacher, who was her 3rd grade teacher. Her 3rd grade teacher was her absolute favorite. She loved her to death. And this teacher now reminds her of her. So then she tells me that first time I saw one of your videos, I thought you were 22, 23. Oh, wow. Thank you, Brianna. I act like an idiot, but yeah, no, I'm just an older idiot. That's it. Not saying 23, 24s are idiots. But I was an idiot when I was 23, 24. I still am. Anyway, so yeah, I have her talk to me about like how she's liking school this year and everything, because she's doing really great in her grades, and I'm really proud of her, and I'm always praising her for it. And so she tells me, she's like, well, I like this teacher. She me and my 3rd grade teacher, but not quite. She yells a lot. And I was just like, oh, well, you know, kids get annoying, and you guys, I'm sure you get rowdy. And she's like, yeah, but she yells. Like, she doesn't talk to us or anything like my 3rd grade teacher did. And I was just like, well, huh. In my head, I was like, see, I'm still a genius. In my head, I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, if she's got a short temper, then that means like she's in the part of her career where she's not a brand new teacher, but she hasn't established a system to work with the kids in a way that's a lot more feasible than just yelling at them. So I was like, okay, so then that means she's got to be around, anywhere from, I'd say 23 to 25. I get it. I get it from my mom. Haha, she'll be 60 in November, and everybody thinks she's in her 50s. My dad will be 60 in January, and he looks like he looks it. My dad is all gray. My mom still has her brown hair. That's awesome, though. Yeah, my mom's got great genetics on her side of the family. I love her to death. She's wonderful. And a lot of people tell me I look just like my mom. Other people tell me I look just like my dad, which is not the greatest of compliments, just to be honest with you. But anyway, I think like I'm a good balance between both parents. I think that's how it is for me. My sister, though, looks identical to my mother. So that's a little freaky. But somebody had to be the twin. I'm just like a balance of both. My brothers are just idiots. So anyway, but yeah, so I gauged the teacher because of like her professionalism in the classroom. I figured that she's, 23 to 24. She's had a few years under her belt where she's comfortable with kids, but she hasn't developed a system yet to work with the kids on a more professional level without yelling. I've already had a few gray hairs, but not too bad. My dad's early. I have so many gray hairs now. I used to my mom used to actually find them and she would pluck them all out at once, and I used to get them right at my cowlick way back here. They're all over now. They're all over. And it's I used to think that I would actually like having my grays, and I do. It's not that I don't. It's just that I want to be all gray all at once, just sneeze and just boom, white, It doesn't work like that, so it's that awkward just starting gray phase, and then the more visible grays, and then it's going to be more salt or more pepper than salt, then it's going to be more salt than pepper, and then finally you're going to be white. Age is just a number, yeah. But I hit the nail on the head with the teacher. Turns out she is exactly 24 years old. I said anywhere from 23 to 25. Bam! I hit that sucker, rang that bell. I'll be 22 next Wednesday. I'm the baby of this group. Oh, Brianna, well, happy early birthday. Tomorrow is my best friend Kari's birthday, and I'm just like, oh, so many birthdays this time of year, too. Yeah, my oldest just had her birthday recently, and it's going to be Kari's and my sister-in-law's and then my nephews. So, and it's also going to be one of my cousin's birthdays. It's so many birthdays this time of year. But yeah, I am really good at gauging ages. Once I get to know somebody and I learn their pros and cons, then it's I'm at that phase now where it's oh, you're probably around this age. They're like, oh yeah, I'm this age. How'd you know? I'm just like, it's just what happens when you get older. I guess you kind of get people on a different level each time you get older. And it's true what they say. The older you get, the less you care. Oh my God. I saw a Jim Parsons interview. If you guys don't know who Jim Parsons is, amazing actor. He's on Big Bang Theory. He plays Sheldon. He also did the voice of O on Home. Love Jim Parsons. But anyway, he did an interview. My give a damn is busted. That's my mom's favorite line. But yeah, there was an interview about him turning 40. So this was a few years ago. He's older now. But he was they were asking him, they were like, how does it feel to be 40 now? And you don't even look it. And he's just like, oh, it's great. I don't care. I don't care about anything. People say things to me and I'm just like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. Bye. I'm just like, when I saw that interview years ago, I was like, man, that's so great to just not be able to care. I care too much. But now I'm starting to get to that point where I'm just like, I don't fucking care. I don't care. I mean, obviously, I care about some things. Obviously, there are some things that still get to me. There are some things that still kind of trigger me. Obviously, I suffer from anxiety and depression. But for the most part, like when it comes to like haters and everything, I just don't care. Like I got a hate comment the other day on an older video. So much older video. It was my Duran Gray rant video. What I like about my birthday is that I share the same birthday as Bette Midler. Oh, what a spooky person. Wouldn't love to share a birthday with a Sanderson sister. Yeah, seriously. Seriously. And I actually just watched that movie the other day, and I'm working on a painting of the Sanderson sisters' house. I can't wait for that painting to be done because I love Hocus Pocus. Love Hocus Pocus. I may not sell that one because I love Hocus Pocus. But yeah. What was I saying? I was saying I don't care, and then oh well, Jim Parsons. I give a damn is busted. Yeah. Some things I care about, but for the most, my hate comment. You still need to paint the Sanderson sisters. I do. I need to paint the Sanderson sisters themselves. But yeah. Oh, the Wi-Fi turned back on. That's why. My phone is stupid. So yeah. I got a hate comment on one of my videos. And yeah, I ended up just deleting the comment because I have it through a system where I have to approve comments because I started off on YouTube getting only hate comments, mainly because my family's assholes. But my family's just full of assholes. They were my haters. But that's all calmed down. I rarely get hate comments anymore. And now when I do, a lot of the times I'll leave them up and I'll even just give them like a sassy comment or something. Other times I'll just leave them up and I'll just let other people have at it. I don't really encourage that. Hate against hate doesn't solve anything. Just be witty. Just be witty. Just, be clever about it. That's all I ask. But yeah, there was a comment that was just like, because it was a Duran Gray video. It was a Duran Gray rant video. Duran Gray is a Japanese heavy metal band that I love. I still love. But I did a rant about how they treated their fans. And which is a totally legitimate thing. I mean, they were very rude to their fans throughout a Europe tour. And I just totally ripped them apart about it. And so every now and then, I get a hate comment on that. And so this person just responded with something like, you are so stupid. You're an idiot. You don't even, understand. You call yourself a fan of the band, but you don't get them, and blah, blah, blah. And then they left another comment elaborating about how stupid I am. And I should have responded with something, I thought about it after I deleted it. And I was just like, man, I should have left that up because I really wanted to respond with like, it's fine if you want to blindly follow a group of people just because they're celebrities. But for me, doesn't matter if they're a celebrity or not. If they do something wrong, I'm going to call them out on it. Especially if I'm a fan of theirs, I'm just going to be like, no, you're an asshole. Like, you're an asshole. Still a fan, but you're an asshole. And it's like, because they're people too. They are people too. Just because they're, I don't know what it is, but my connection's just horrible today. So sorry about that, guys. I turned the Wi-Fi on my phone off. So I don't know if it is the Wi-Fi or if it's just my phone being stupid or if it's the connection or what. Could even just be YouTube. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to stifle me because I cuss too much. I got demonetized on my snowflake pendant review. Probably because there's snowflake in the title. And it's used as an insult now. So I think that's why that video got demonetized. And I'm like, no, you are reviewing this. You are reviewing this right now. And they're like, no, when you get 1,000 views in a week, then we will review it manually. And I'm just like, oh, you guys are assholes. And they had me do this survey. Oh, I ripped YouTube apart on the survey. they were asking me like if I trusted YouTube, and I was like, no, I don't trust you. You demonetize my videos, and then you tell me I have to have 1,000 consistent videos or views a week before it's manually reviewed. You guys don't care about the little channels. You don't care about the little people. You only care about your big stars, your Logan Pauls, your Jake Pauls, your fucking PewDiePies. You don't even really care about PewDiePie as long as it gets you more attraction. That's the only reason why you care about PewDiePie. You don't care about anybody else. Like, oh, I can't stand YouTube when it comes to that. But it's a great platform still for me especially, so that's why I'm still on it. But I just don't agree with their morals and ethics. But in any case, back what I was saying, like, I am a person that understands, I've always understood. I've always said that I don't believe in the term celebrity because they are people. They are not gods. They make mistakes. They fuck up like we do. I'll have to put your videos up all day long and just watch them run out. Thanks, Mom. I don't know if that'll count, but hey, I guess it's worth a shot. But yeah, so yeah, it's like people are people. It doesn't matter their net worth or whatever. Just because someone is famous doesn't mean that it's okay for them to do wrong things and get away with it. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Like these celebrities that have gotten away with like murder, like straight up people have gotten away with murder, and they've gotten away with killing other people and everything just because they're celebrities, and they have agents and everything that do the cover-ups for them. And it's just like, that to me is bonkers. It's like, no, you're still a human being. There are still laws. There are still rules you have to abide by. There are still just normal morals that everybody has to follow. Just basic moral standards, like just be kind to others, be careful to others, and people just, they get a certain income and then they just become a complete dill hole. And it's like, I don't agree with that. I really don't. It's, we're all on the same planet. We all have the same, kind of skeleton, organs, flesh. That's why, like, I don't understand racism either because of that. It's like, it's like we're all the same species. We're all human. What's the problem? And it's some things I've never understood, and celebrities is one thing I've never understood in my entire life, was idolizing somebody to the point where they could do no wrong, even when they're doing wrong. I've never understood that. I'm just like, no, they're still a person. They still shit. They still piss. They still vomit. They still do this. They still get sick. They still do things, they grocery shop too. They freaking fart at their kitchen table, It's it's like they're human too. So why are we putting them on this like pedestal of like a god level? No, and I'm not ever going to agree to that, and I will call people out on their shit. And so my favorite band that I've listened to since I was 15, I think. I was like 14, 15, which is another thing. With that comment, I bet you anything. That girl wasn't even alive when I became a fan of Duran Gray. So for her to be like, oh, you don't know them, you don't understand them. I'm like, girl, oh, honey, sweetheart, you precious little thing. You are probably not even old enough to be of the age of me being a fan of Duran Gray. If that made sense, sorry. Words fail me at times. But anyway, sorry for that rant. I can't stand blind faith when it comes to like celebrities. I don't get that at all. People will just like Demi Lovato too. Like a lot of people want to say that Demi Lovato's this wonderful person. She's this great person. I'm just like, you know what? What I know about her, she's a shit talker. And she likes to stir the pot. She likes to make people pissed off. And that's why I'm not a fan of hers. I don't think I'll ever be a fan of hers. I do like some of her songs, yes. But as a person, I think she sucks. So, yeah, it's awful what she's been going through, but it's also the choices that we make, the things that we say to other people. And what was it, Taylor Swift, I think it was? She was shit-talking Taylor Swift. It's like, oh, sweetie, you are not up to her level to be talking shit to her. And not only that, why are you talking shit about anyone? Even if it was somebody below you on that celebrity scale, what are you doing talking shit about anybody? Like, you should be minding your own business, focusing on your own stuff, focusing on your own career, rather than shit talking other people. Like, get off your phone, do something, work, you know? My point of view is, I'm sorry.
Call me a cynic, but I just think that that's how it should be.
I've been experimenting a lot with voices lately, sorry. I've been thinking about doing a demo tape for like a bunch of voices, like just doing a bunch of voices and sending it in to like Funimation or whatever and just seeing what happens. I don't know. I would love to be a voice actor, but I don't know. I don't think I have enough skill for that, but you know, you can always, you never know. You never know. Oh, one thing I do want to try before I turn 30. Sorry, this is like totally out of the blue. No, I actually think you're right. You hit it right on the head. Thank you. Thank you, Julie. Yeah.
I'm just a mean old lady that's just gonna beat the kids with my cane.
That was my goal when I was a kid, was to be an angry old lady that would just chase kids with a cane. I was like, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be in like a hover wheelchair. I'm just gonna be chasing kids with a cane. That's gonna be me. And everybody was just looking at me. They're like, that's what you want? That's what you want to be when you're an adult, when you're an old lady? And I'm just like, hell yeah. And now I have 2 kids. Oh God. I never thought I was going to be a mom. I hated kids when I was a teenager. I still kind of do. A lot of kids annoy me. But love my kids. Love them to death. They annoy me too. But your own kids got to annoy you. It's like family. Your own siblings will annoy you. Your own parents will annoy you. Your own kids will annoy you too. Especially when you're trying to pee and they keep constantly just knock, knock, knock. Hey, mommy. They won't leave me alone, or they won't give me my toy. It's like, I'm just trying to pee. Can I just pee? I think your voice is awesome. You should keep doing it, and I think you would get a job doing it, doing acting. That would be awesome. Thank you so much, Julie. You're so sweet. You guys are always so supportive and like all my crazy ideas and everything, and I just love you guys so much for that. You guys like totally enable my psycho side, and I love it. That's why like my whole channel is like, hello fellow monsters, because like what's being human anymore? We're all fucked up. So, and you guys enable my fucked up side, so I love it. But yeah. I really, my goal before I turn 30, my biggest goal is to do a stand-up. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have this character. Her name is Edna. I've been wanting to do a series with her. And I do have, I think, 3 or 4 episodes recorded. Or you'll get a kid that'll be all, Mom, my head itches, what do I do? Oh, God, yeah. Oh, it's like, don't come near me. Like, just put a plastic bag on your head now. Not over your face, but on your head. Like, suffocate that shit. Where's the mayo? Oh, God. I know people that would put mayo on their kids' heads. My mom would just get the actual, like, lice chemical stuff to get the lice out of my hair, because I had really long hair, and I was constantly getting lice from the other kids at school. And we would do it every time. And I'm surprised I still have hair. That shit burned. That was awful. It stunk. It was awful. And it took forever. And especially with all the hair that I have. I have a lot of hair. It's very thick and heavy. And my poor mom went through my entire scalp and hair to make sure it was coated in that medicine stuff. Several times. Love you, Mom. Love you. But yeah, I want to do a stand-up with my character Edna, because I think it'll be a lot funnier with her. If you guys want to know who Edna is, I do have an Instagram for her. It's Edna's Corner. because that was what the show was going to be called. And I'm still debating on putting up the episodes. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to upload them. But I'm going to upload them in a way of like me explaining like this is a test. If you guys like this series, let me know. I will make more. If you don't, let me know. I will stop making them. So, but if you like the character, let me know and I'll do different things with her. Because I think she's great. I've taken her out in public. I sound like I got a dog or something. But no, I have taken her out into public and I get like the most amazing response. I get people that like compliment my makeup. I get people that ask me if I'm real. It's great. So yeah, if you want to go on Edna's Corner on Instagram, I do recommend that you do if you want to. Surprisingly, I've never got lice, and I'm totally wanting to see Edna. Yeah, she's a character. Truly, she really is. She's awesome, though. I love playing her too, because like I feel like she opens me up to be a little bit more vicious and a little bit more sassy. And I love her. I love doing her, and I love her fashion, her little tacky fashion. It's so awesome. I love everything about Edna. But yeah, so just let me know. Go ahead, check her out on Instagram, Edna's Corner. It's all one word. You'll know when you see her. Every time whenever I dress up as her, I try to take like a bunch of Instagram photos or videos. Yeah, you guys should. You should totally check her out. It's fucking crazy. I have actually been told by people who live on or are from the East Coast, or they live on the East Coast and they visit, they always tell me that I am spot on, and I love that. I love that validation because I don't want to offend anyone. And I try really hard to be good with accents. Like a British accent, I think I can do pretty okay. I've actually been told by a British person once that I actually have a pretty decent accent. Better than most Americans that she had heard. I want to see Anna to go for it. Who? Oh, do you mean Edna? Was that a spell check error? I hate the autocorrect. Oh, it does that to me all the time. Oh my god, my supernatural mug is just like deteriorating. It's like the handle's even cracked. I've had this thing for years. But yeah, I want to just do this stand-up with her. I think it'll be so funny. I think it'll be really fantastic. And I have my whole thing ready. At least I think I do. Because for an open mic night, they only give you like a certain amount of minutes. I don't know how many minutes you get at an open mic night. I think it's different per comedy house. But yeah, I have like a whole thing, and I have it in my notes on my phone. I have it like in my head. Because I know you doing stand-up, you got to be physical too. You got to like really get into it. You got to like just be out there. And I am a theatrical person. I'm very loud. I'm very obnoxious. But I also grew up on stage. I started doing ballet when I was very little. No, don't worry, Julie. I got you. I got you, boo. I've learned throughout the years of stage presence and everything. So like I've always been very, presenting on stage. I've done stage plays. I've been on stage performances and done ballet recitals on stage. And so it's like I know about stage presence and everything. And especially being in martial arts, I've learned how to control my breathing better and to use my diaphragm to project my voice for when I'm on stage too. So that's helped my stage presence as well on top of that. So it's like I know how to project. I know how to do all this stuff. And so I feel like I have a great advantage to doing stand-up because of my performance career, I guess you could say. It's weird to think too. I've done modeling too, which is That's really weird to think about. When I was a kid, I did modeling for a ballet magazine, and that was hell. I remember hating every minute of it because it was like, I mean, we would do poses and everything for our ballet pictures before a recital or anything. We would always, have the whole like backdrop and in the studio, and we would all get up dressed up in our costumes and do the poses and everything. And but doing the model photo shoot, it was like you had to be precise, like down to the centimeter, and I hated every second of it. Like my smile, even I had to smile, but I couldn't smile too big and I couldn't smile too little. I had to smile just right, and I was like, this is stupid. I hate every second of this. I just remember walking away from it, just being like, finally, can we get some in and out? Like, I earned a milkshake. I just was like, not having it. I think we did end up getting Frosties right afterwards, though. Not In and Out, but Wendy's. I think we got some chocolate Frosties from Wendy's right afterwards. Because I earned that shit. Oh my god, it was painful. My ballet teacher was a bitch. Oh, I hated her. Oh, right as I got to a good point of the story and it connection, I slapped my ballet teacher once, is what I was trying to say. Yeah, I've always hated ballet. Always hated it. And my mom tried to make me stick it out. She was just like, come on, you're good at it. You're doing great. Keep it up. And I was just like, I keep getting held back. I want to progress, but I keep getting held back because the teacher hated me. She called me fat when I was 5 years old. It killed my self-esteem right then and there. So like I hated ballet. Wanted to be in karate where my brothers were. They started karate when I was 6. Loved going to the dojo. Loved watching them train. Wanted to be on that floor training with them. But I started training when I was 14, and that was fun. I loved every minute of that. I loved it so much. Like, as soon as I would get home from training, I would come out here to the backyard, and I would train out on the grass. I would train right out here all the time. And I had a trampoline over here that I would bounce around on to kind of increase my stamina. It never worked. Because I would go hard on that trampoline. I was like full on, like going like bouncing back and forth super fast. And I was just doing everything I could to just build up my stamina, and I couldn't because I have lung issues, and I know I smoke and I shouldn't, but even at my most fit time in my life, which I believe was when I was like 16, 17, possibly even 18. I was fit. I had abs. I was solid muscle. I weighed 135 pounds and I was solid muscle. And I was a stick, and I wish I was that fat now because I thought I was fat then, but I really wasn't. I was a twig and I was solid muscle. I wish I was that then now. But
we're going to go get the car smoked. I'm going to lock the front door.
Oh, okay. Oh, just don't lock the back.
I'm not locking the door. No.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because you're back here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. They're going to go smog the car. But yeah, so I would try to go for a run because I knew I was fit. I saw the abs one day when I went to go into the shower, and I was just like, oh shit, I got muscle. That means I'm fit. So I was like, okay, maybe I can push myself more. So I tried to go for a run around the neighborhood, and my dad would follow me on his moped. And yeah, I almost died. I was doing good too. I was going at a slow pace. I started off with a light jog, got a little heavier once I felt comfortable, once I felt warmed up, and I would try to go for like little sprints here and there. I studied running very hard. Like, I knew how to control my breathing, how to, balance everything out. And I died. And oh my God, like I fucking like, I couldn't breathe. Like, that's when I actually found out I have this thing. I forgot what it's called, but it's basically like I think they call it like an athlete's asthma. It's basically an exercise-induced asthma, which is like doing certain things. It's different for each person. But for me, whenever I run, it kicks in my asthma. My windpipe just goes like that. And it just... it's all tight right in here, and then I can feel it tight down here as well, down in my chest. And it's just like from here to here, I just can't breathe. And I'll even have to like open my mouth all the way just to force air into my lungs because it's so tight. And I do have an inhaler. I keep it with me all the time just in case. But yeah, I've never been able to run because of that. And so, like, why did I get on this tangent? I don't even know. At what point? What was my point? Oh my god. Getting old sucks. My train of thought is just taken off without me into like this far off distance, and I'm just sitting there going, I'm on the train, right? I'm on the train. I'm in that cabin right there. No, I'm not. The train's taken off without me. Fuck. Story of my life. Oh god. I hope I'm not boring you guys. I really do. I do hope I'm not boring you, is what I'm saying. Penny for your thought, McGee. Hi. Oh, wait, Penny McGee. I remember you. How are you doing? Sorry, I'm having a cigarette even though I just talked about how I have exercise-induced asthma. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I haven't done a live stream in a while because of life. I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. You're very sweet. I was trying to do a project out here, which is why we're in the backyard, and there's a bunch of junk behind. Thank y'all. There we are. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I was trying to do a project out here, and I found out a half hour in that I need a power tool. I need a power tool for that. So now we're just outside enjoying this lovely, sort of lovely weather. It is, oh, it's just at 100 degrees out here, so that's nice. That's nice for Vegas. I know a lot of people tell me all the time, they're all like, oh my god, it's 100 degrees, you should be inside. And I'm just like, nah, this is actually nice. Like 115, 120, that's when we're dying, but you're not boring us, actually. You're not boring me. I'm enjoying it. Thank you, Julie. I'm so glad. I really wonder sometimes because I know I ramble. I ramble a lot. And I talk in circles, too, I found out. I found out through doing YouTube that I talk in circles because I would catch myself while I was editing. I'm like, I'm repeating myself. What am I doing? I'm sitting at about 80 here right now. Oh, 80 degrees sounds lovely. I wish it was 80. Yeah, it's like, it's at a pretty solid 100 degrees. Denise, hello. Welcome. I'm just sitting here sulking in the fact that I failed at doing a project by hand I definitely need a power tool for. Now, I do know some of you guys are anime fans on here, so, like, have any of you guys seen the anime Cardcaptor Sakura? It's a great anime, super girly. One of the few girly animes that I really love. And I think it'll be getting around 65 tonight. Oh, you bitch. I'm so jealous. I mean that in a good way. But yeah, I'm super jealous. Oh, it would be so nice if it got down to 65 here. I think last night it got down to 70 because I started shivering a little bit, but I don't know. It probably was like 73. All temperature is relative. Hey, Kirby. Haven't seen you in a while. Missed your face. Well, missed your text. Yeah, it really is all relative because I know people that live in like Alaska and they deal with like negative 40 during their winters, and that to them is just like, oh, that's a nice day out today. And it's just like, what? Like, I would freeze in a second. Whereas over here, I deal with 115, 120 degree summers, and I've gotten used to it over the years, even though like I burn. I do burn very easily in the sun, but the heat itself I can handle. I can deal with it. I don't mind it. It does suck and it does take a lot of life out of you, but I can handle it. So, you know, you just kind of you adapt. It's a great thing about being a human is you adapt. Hello, Pearly. 93 here in California today. Wow. God, everywhere else it's so nice, and in Vegas is like 100. Still, it does cool off rather nice at night, though. It really does. It's so nice. I end up staying out here for hours. I have to get myself inside because I'm like, shit, I gotta wake up in like a few hours, take the kids to school. "92 and humid as hell in Louisiana." Whoo! Yeah, Louisiana has high humidity, and with 92 degrees, that probably feels like 110. Holy shit. Yeah, that's got to be miserable. That is one thing I will say with the dry heat here in Vegas. It makes the high temperatures easy to handle, but when it does get humid here, it's miserable. This was the most humid summer we've ever had as far as I can remember. It was humid throughout like almost 2 months of our summer, and it was just miserable. We kept having clouds that brought in the humidity, but no rain, and it was just like, oh my god, just give us something. Here in Vegas, it's summer 9 months out of the year, roughly. Yep. It really is. I always joke around with people too. I'm like, we have 9 months of summer, and then a couple of months of an actual winter, and then it's just annoyingly cold for the rest of the for that rest of that span. It's not like cold enough to be winter, but it's not warm enough to be like a fall or an autumn. It's just like that awkward cold. Considering I live on the East Coast, it's pretty nice. So when it gets cold at night, I just can't stand the humid here. I think if I had to live in a warm climate, I would rather have dry heat. Yeah, absolutely. Dry heat is the way to go when it comes to high temperatures. Don't know what the temperature here in Salt Lake is, but the fires are going crazy. Oh no! The fires. I forgot about the fires over there. Oh man, those are still going on? That's awful. I know that California, did California get those wildfires tamed? I never heard a follow-up about that. I know they were getting really bad. Oh, don't worry, zombie issues. I got you. But yeah, it's like, uh, the wildfires in California, it was getting so down low. I don't know if you guys know about Designer Daddy. He's the one that does the Disney princess transformation dresses. He started making them for his daughter, and then he kind of blew up on the internet. Now he actually does like custom wedding dresses, custom cosplay dresses, and everything. He's an amazing designer. He even had to be evacuated from his home. I saw it on his Instagram story about a month ago. Probably 2 months ago now. I don't know. But I saw it when it was happening, and I was just like, God damn, like that's scary. My half sister lives in Australia, and they deal with wildfires there too. And unfortunately, they're coming out of their winter right now into summer, and that's usually when the wildfires hit. There was one wildfire one year where it got really close to her place, and we were constantly like Skyping with her, like, are you okay? Are you safe? Like, how is it today? Like, where's the fire? And it got so close to where she was almost evacuated, but they ended up getting it under control. Like right as she was at that evacuation line, they got it under control. So thankfully, that was her situation. But I mean, it could have been so much worse, and that's the scary thought. And thankfully, now I think where she lives is away from all that. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that she absolutely loves her new place, and she's just absolutely smitten over there, and I adore her. She's the greatest thing to ever happen to our family. We didn't know she existed. That's a fun story. We've only, I think now would be, let's see, Bella's 5, so 4 years ago was when we discovered that she existed. So, do you guys want to hear that story? I'll tell you. I haven't heard any more about the fires here in Southern California, but a new one did start in Northern California. Oh, no. Crazy thing that on the West Coast they're dealing with wildfires, and the East Coast is dealing with hurricanes, right? Oh my God, that is so scary. Those hurricanes. My fiance's daughter actually lives on the East Coast, and so we've been like in contact with her, making sure she's okay. So Denise says she wants to hear the story about my mysterious half-sister that I've only known for 4 years. Who else?
Anyone else?
If you guys don't want to, it's totally fine. I'm just throwing it out there as an option. This is one story I will share. There's one in particular I will never share, especially on the internet. But yeah, I'd like to hear about it, says Brianna. He's actually just started. We thought we were done, but it happened again. One caused by lightning, one caused by a kid with fireworks. Oh no, that is awful. Lightning especially, because it's just one of those things that it just happens and there's really nothing you could do to avoid it. Whereas with fireworks, it's like, really, you know better. You know better. Let's be intelligent beings, you know? We're humans, for crying out loud. And my brother just moved from South Carolina a couple months ago to him, and his family would have been caught up in it if they hadn't moved. Wow, shit. Ah, fucking flies. I can't wait for winter. Can't wait for winter. I'm so done with these flies. Flies and ants. God, they're relentless this year. Plus, I'm looking forward to winter just because I haven't been able to wear my really awesome gothic clothes because it's just so hot. I can't wear my corsets. I can't wear my skirts. It's just too hot. So I'm looking forward to that. Julie says, I want to hear the story. So I can see that there's 6 viewing, but there could be more because some people have their accounts set to a private setting to where I don't know that they're watching. So chime in. We've got a horde of ladybugs coming this fall. Oh, take pictures. I'm following you on Instagram, Zombie Issues. Or Charlie. I need photos. I'm following you. I want photos. I love ladybugs. I used to play with them when I was a kid. Because my mom would get the cups of ladybugs because she had rose bushes over here. And we had a bunch of aphids. So we would get ladybugs and praying mantis to help take care of the aphids. And the praying mantises were so cute. They were so teeny tiny and tan, and they would just jump everywhere. And loved playing with those too. They were so cute. And the ladybugs, we would just kind of pick them up with our hand and put them on the leaves and just let them go to town on aphids and everything. And they got fat. Our ladybugs got fat. But yeah, that was so fun. I remember those days. But yeah, so Charlie, do you want to hear the story? Let's see, it was Brianna, Julie, Denise, Kirby says, tell the story. Okay, well, that's 4 out of 6. Of course I want to hear the story. Thank you, Charlie. You guys are awesome. You're so sweet. Okay, so this story dates back since before my dad's first marriage. I believe, well, the first time he went to Finland, I believe he was 17 years old, because he was Baha'i faith at the time. If you don't know about Baha'i, I do recommend you look it up. It's quite a very interesting religion. I view it as like a Buddhist version of LDS Mormon, because they have a set of rules like the Mormons do. They have very strict guidelines that you have to follow and everything as far as being a part of the Baha'i. And it is very much like Mormon too, where it's like you're not a true Baha'i unless you're like born into it. But you can convert, but you're just not ever really truly considered a true Baha'i. Kind of like the Mormons. It's like you can be converted, but you'll always be kind of considered a Jack Mormon by those means. So that's how I view it. So it's a very strict religion. My dad was just really into it at the time. He loved the fact that part of the rules was to learn the 8 Bibles of 8 different religions. And he actually did that. And it was just kind of one of those things like you can if you want to, but you don't have to. And my dad actually did it. But he did like it at the time. And so he went to Finland to be a part of this whole Baha'i like retreat, spiritual journey kind of a thing. So he got a job in Finland and everything. I think he stayed there for about a year, came back, and then went back to Finland when he was about 20. And stayed there longer that time around, and he met a very beautiful Swedish lady, and she was in Finland on a break from school because she was going to school in Sweden, and she was in Finland just for like a little break and everything. And they met, they fell in love, they dated for a long time. My dad even got the permission of her parents to marry her and everything. So they were basically pseudo engaged. And they had one night alone together, and that was enough. And she ended up getting pregnant. Now, to skip over a lot of stuff that's very personal for my half sister that I'm not going to get into, she did basically get raised thinking that another man was her biological father. But there were things and everything that would happen that she knew because he was Persian. She knew that he wasn't her biological father. She was very tall, very pale, had like light brown, kind of strawberry blondish hair. It would change, as she got older. How some people are born with strawberry blonde hair and it kind of develops into like a darker red toned brown or darker blonde as they get older. And that was how it was for her. And now her natural hair color is basically like a medium brown, I think. But yeah, so she grew up knowing like all these things that were different about her, especially when it came to her younger sisters. They were tanned, they were shorter than her, they had naturally black hair, and she just figured, oh, I guess I just took my mom's side of the genes more. But there were other telltale signs that she was different. Like she had different teeth, she had different feet, and like all these like different things that she was just like, maybe he's not my dad. And so out of respect for the man that she knew as her dad, it ended up being a thing where he ended up getting sick and he did pass away. And that's when she confronted her mom, and she was like, okay, dad's gone now, so please tell me the truth. And so her mom did, and she told her, she was like, your dad is an American, he lives in America, his name is da da da, and he lives there, and you can look him up if you want. It's been years. My dad never knew. They did send letters to each other after my dad went back to the U.S. and she went back to Sweden. They did send letters to each other, but they ended up losing contact because it took so long, especially back then. It took so long for the letters to, pass back and forth to each other. So, it was one of those things. They ended up just losing contact. And so he never knew that she was pregnant. He never knew that she had his kid. And so she went through a period where she went through the processing of like mourning the man that she knew as her dad. She was mourning his death, and she was also dealing with the fact that who she thought was her father wasn't. So it took her a few years to kind of like accept that and figure out what to do with that, especially. I definitely don't think I would have been able to handle it as gracefully as she did. She's such a wonderful person. And it took her, I think she said 6 years. I think it took her 6 years before she could write the letter. And when she wrote the letter, she still didn't even want to. Actually, no, she wrote the letter to send to us and waited 6 years. That's what it was, because she wanted to wait until she was ready. But she had it all written out. And she kind of forgot about it. She would think about it every so often, and she was just like, no, I'm still not ready. And then finally she was just like, you know what? Because she had just had her first child too, and she was married and everything at this point. So she was like, you know what? He's got a grandkid from me, and she found him on Facebook too. So she was like, he's got his own family, he's got his own grandkids, but I don't know if he would want to know that he's got a kid and a grandkid on this side. So maybe, I'll just do that, just as like a heads up of like, hey, I exist, I'm here if you want me to be a part of your family. If not, it's totally okay. So we get the letter in the mail, and my dad almost threw it away, but he saw that the envelope was handwritten. And so my dad has this kind of code of ethics where if if an envelope is handwritten, he'll open it because somebody took the time to write it out. And yeah, he opened it up and went very pale. Very pale. Didn't say a word. Just went very pale and was just kind of like this on his desk. And my mom was just like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And again, you know, this was 4 years ago. And so he just ends up handing the letter to my mom. Doesn't say a word, just hands her the letter. And she reads it and she just pats him on the back and, you know, chuckles out really loudly. And she's just like, "Hey, 7 kids. Way to go." Because my dad had 2 kids from his first marriage, and then he had 4 with my mom, including me, being the youngest of all the kids. And so my my mom's like, "Oh shit, you have 7 kids actually. Holy cow." And so she thought it was great. She thought it was hilarious. And she was like, "You should email her," you know, because she left an email. She's like, "You should email her, you know, let's look her up." And my mom is a total stalker. Don't tell her I told you this, but she's a total stalker. So my mom found her on Facebook, and I came home from work that day. And or no, did I come home from work? I think I did. I can't remember. But I remember I came home from somewhere, and I came home either from work or I came over to visit, and because I was living away at that time. And yeah, my mom's first words out of her mouth, but it wasn't even a hi, hello, oh my god, you won't believe what happened. It was "Who do you think this is?" And she pointed to her monitor, and it was just a picture of her, but obviously I didn't know. And I was just like, "Oh, that looks like Hillary," who is another half sibling of mine. And she was like, "Nope, that's not Hillary." And I was just like, that looks like Hillary. Kind of. Well, yeah, that looks like Hillary. And she's like, "No, that's not Hillary." I was like, "Are you sure?" And she was just like, "I'm totally sure." So she showed me the name, and I was just like, "Well, who is that?" And then my mom handed me the letter. Again, nobody's explaining verbally anything to me. So then I read the letter, and I was just like, 7 kids, Dad. Oh, I'm the youngest of 7. Oh, how great. And so I was having a ball with it too. I was just like, "Holy shit." And my mom started cracking up too, because she was like, "That's what I said." And so yeah, it just ended up being like this whole hoopla. And so my dad sent her an email saying that, you know, we all accept her. We all want to get to know her. Like, we're all excited and like super happy that she sent us a letter. And she was just over the moon. She was so happy that, you know, that we were happy. Like, she was so nervous. Like, once she sent that letter, she was nervous as soon as she sent it that we were just going to be like, "No, don't ever contact us again." And you know, and it was going to be one of those things for her of like, you know, it is what it is, but she was still hoping that we were going to have a positive reaction. Of course, everybody would. And so she was just over the moon elated that we were happy to have her as part of the family. And so the very first Skype call was super awkward, but it was so wonderful, and she was so super sweet. And she's even come from Australia to visit us twice now, and both times she's just an absolute sweetheart and just just a total love. She is the most amazing human being ever, and I love that she's a part of our family now. And it's just a crazy, crazy story that it's like for 40 years, because 4 years ago was her 40th birthday, that, you know, for 40 years, he never knew he had another daughter. Yeah, she is in Australia now, because while she was, I believe she was like 11, 12, 13, somewhere around there, her mom and dad, you know, they there was a time in Australia where it was like you got a really super like bonus and discount and everything if you moved your family to Australia. And my mom actually was even thinking of us doing that years ago. I mean, before I was born. But my mom was even thinking of doing that because she's heard about, you know, the perks of like moving to Australia at that time was like you got like all these bonuses and everything. Um, but yeah, so her family took that up and they moved to Australia. So she ended up learning English, and she has an Australian accent too, which is funny because Australian is the one accent that is very hard for me to do, and I've gotten better throughout the years. And I think a lot of it has to do with talking to her on Skype. So, um, but yeah, she's just so great. Like every time whenever I come across anything Aussie, like I send it to her right away. Like my new favorite channel right now is Draw with Jazza. He's an amazing, amazing artist, and he's Australian. So he did this thing of an Australian Bob Ross video for Australia Day, and I sent that video to her because we were all cracking up, and she ended up cracking up, and she's like I said, she's just a love. I absolutely adore her. Just the greatest human being out there. And yeah, she's met my best friends and everything too. She loves my friends and they love her, and like they're always asking me, they're like, how's Linda doing? Are they doing great? Like, how are the kids? And I'm just like, oh, I'll let her know. I'll ask her for you. So yeah, just one of those like just purely beautiful, amazing human beings that's just full of love and just I adore her. I'm so lucky that she is a part of our family. So her husband's great too. Oh God, her husband is fucking hilarious. I love him. He's the best brother-in-law. Oh God, I love talking to Mike because he's like a true Aussie. So he's like, yeah, he's always got jokes for days. He told me about the drop bears in Australia, so that's fun. The drop bears. I don't know if I should ruin that one for you guys, but it's a great story. It's kind of like the drop bears in Australia is basically the jackalope here in America. So, but yeah, that's our story. Our wonderful, wonderful story of how we got my half sister that's in Australia. Lovely human being. I really hope. I really want to get her on a live stream with me one day, and I wanted to film with her the last time she was here, but she had a brand new baby, and it was very insecure and very attached to mommy, and so I didn't want to push it or anything. I didn't want to cause any trouble. So I was like, well, maybe next time if you get a chance to come over again, we'll do a video together, or we'll do a live stream together or something. But yeah, like I said, she's just wonderful human being. Absolutely adore her. So I do hope you guys get to meet her one day. It's like I said, amazing. She is the sweetest. How neat. I have a little half brother as well, and I found out about him a year ago, and he's wonderful. Oh, that's so sweet. It's just weird how life works out, and it's funny because it's like I find some of these stories where people find out that either somebody was given up for adoption and they're related, or if or something like that, where like long lost siblings, long lost family members, and there's people where they're just like, no, don't ever contact us again, bye. And it's just, I don't understand that. I personally don't understand it. I'm sure they have their reasons, but personally for me, it's like, that's your blood, that's your family, that's it's not their fault that the situation happened the way it is, so don't take it out on them. Yeah, I'd love to see her on a live stream sometime, says Brianna. Oh, I would too. I would love to put her on here and just get her talking so Aussie. I have a sister that I just found out 2 years ago. She contacted us, and she's an awesome person. We're still in contact, and the whole family. It's a long story, but it's amazing, says Julie. That is amazing. That, I think it's so great when you find somebody who is a long lost relative and they actually want to be connected with you as well. Like, because there could always be that part of somebody where they're all like, yes, we are related. I'm letting you know there's no want or need for us to be in each other's lives. In fact, don't even bother responding. I'm just letting you know that we are related. And I'm sure that happens. So it's nice to know too that there's, that double-sided connection as well, because it goes both ways. And I'm sure there are some people out there that know that they're related to somebody else and they would never even let them know. They're just like, no, I don't have anything to do with that. And it's understandable. Everybody has their own reasons. That is always, on some form of understanding level. And I think that's what makes us great as individuals. But it's also like, maybe just try something new. Just try something a little different. You never know. You could end up with a new best friend or a new awesome family member. And, and sometimes too, it comes with perks of, just, learning something from somebody else, learning what they've been through in their life without you being there. And just learning about somebody else, learning what they've been through, and the fact that they are your blood, I think is a lot more awesome. So, I don't know. It's like my little, deep thoughts with Yinyangsara moment. Oh, God. I'm like becoming one of those, like, deep thoughts with Yinyangsara. I don't know my real father. All I know is that he lives in Mexico. I've gone once, but unfortunately I couldn't find him. Wow, that sucks. My best friend, the bride-to-be, that I'm her maid of honor, she does not know, she doesn't know anything of her biological father either. She's asked her mother about it, and her mother's just like, nope. Like, she's just very tight-lipped. She just will not talk about him. She won't say, like, who he was, what his name was, how she knew him. Nothing. She is just absolutely refusing to say anything about, the man that she had a baby with, who is my best friend. And, I've even gone after my friend about it. Like, I told her, Emmy, I'm like, Emmy, you need to tie your mother down, and you need to, like, freaking, like, bring out lighters and just, like, wire cutters or something, and just scare the living shit out of her and just be like, so, are you going to mention my father? No? Clamping the wire cutters. Just be like, are you sure about that? Just to kind of torture her a little bit, just to scare her and just be like, okay, I'll talk. What do you want to know? See, I'm messed up. I'm really messed up. I would never do that. Just FYI. I would never do that. But also, if I was in her position, I might. I don't know. I'm not in her position, so I don't know what I would do. Knowing how crazy and macabre and everything that I am, I just might. I don't know. Not quite sure. Let me see here. Hold on. Oh, God, no. Oh, that's still super bright. Okay. Use a carrot, not a stick. My mom only told me his name, but nothing else. Oh, man. It's not great to just go off of a name, because I do know it, especially in Mexico, right? Like, they don't really keep records like how they do here in the U.S., right? I've learned something about that like paper records, or just any kind of like records in general, especially when it comes to family trees and everything, in certain parts of Mexico, it's like non-existent, and in other parts it is existent, but it's not very regulated. As far as what I know, through a documentary that I watched a couple months ago. Am I right on that? I don't know. Please correct me if I'm not. But I do know that records are just like a not so like readily regulated thing. Records get lost very easily, and if people move away, you'll never know. See? Yeah. Oh, that's awful. I am so sorry, Denise. That is awful. I can't even imagine, like, losing my records on anything. Like, I still have my original birth certificate, my original social security card, and everything. I keep everything, for the sake of records. And it's like I keep everything for my children as well. I even keep their drawings, for crying out loud. I have, like, a stack in a cabinet in my room of just drawings that they've made throughout their lives so far. And I mean, you guys even seen the wall above my bed. I have a wall of their drawings too. So imagine if you lost your medical history. Oh my God, right? Yeah, because it's like I have allergies that like I'm not vaccinated because I had an allergic reaction when I was an infant. I almost died. And I also had an allergic reaction to a pain medication that they gave me because of the allergic reaction to the vaccination that I had. So yeah, they gave me a pain medication that I ended up being allergic to. So it's like, man, if my medical records were lost and I was in the hospital for any given reason, I could end up dying because of that. And that's just terrifying. Absolutely terrifying to know that that could happen. And I feel so bad for people that go through stuff like that. Talk about medical problems, right? Oh God. Thanks, Sarah. But I've spoken to my uncle and grandpa from his side when I turned 10, and from what I could remember, they were very sweet. I'm 20 now. Oh, you're still such a baby. Sorry, my old lady's coming out. I think that's great. I think that's great that you were able to contact somebody. I think that's absolutely wonderful, and you were able to learn something. That's wonderful, and I'm very happy for you that you were able to have some form of closure in that sense of knowing a bit about him. That's really cool. So, but yeah, medical problems. God, I could talk about medical problems all day. Oh God, just puberty for me was hell. I ended up having to go to like 5 different doctors, 3 different specialists, just from hitting puberty because of the problems that I had. That's a whole separate video for a whole nother day. But I'm thankful that I went through it because now I can actually educate my children, especially since I have 2 girls. I can educate them better about periods on a personal level because of what I've been through than what the school would ever teach them and whatever doctor would even teach them, because they only teach kids up to a certain point, which was how I went without knowing I had a medical condition for almost a solid year. My periods were 30 days long and I only had a 2-week break, and I had severe cramps, severe bleeding. So now I'm anemic because of all that. And I didn't know that that wasn't normal. So I would go months going through these 30-day periods, 2-week break, and my mom got after me about using up all the pads. And she was just like, you're supposed to stop using the pads when you're done with your period. And I was just like, yeah, I know that. And so she was like, oh, okay, well then I guess you're just a heavier bleeder. So, okay. So we didn't know anything until there was one day, it was like, towards the end of my first year of having my period, where I threw down the pads in front of her and I was like, I'm done. And she was like, what? I was like, I'm finally done with my period. And she was like, what do you mean you're finally done? And I was like, it's 30 days. And she was just like, no, your periods aren't 30 days. I was like, yeah, my periods are 30 days and I have a 2-week break. And she's just like, Sarah, what? We need to take you to a doctor. And so like that started a whole reign of problems and issues and doctors not knowing what was going on with me. I had to get ultrasounds, CT scans, all kinds of things. I was on prescription pain medication, experimental prescription pain medication, because apparently my body likes to become immune to stuff as well. So that's fun. So yeah, that's a whole nother story of like problems and everything that I went through, which I ended up finding out too. I did have an allergic reaction to another pain medication that was causing me to have more pain. Didn't know it until I went on a different pain prescription. Then that helped. Yeah, it's a whole freaking process that I went through. And I'm just thankful. I'm thankful I went through it. So that way I know what to look out for with my kids, and I know what to tell them. I know what to tell them to look out for as well, what to tell me as soon as any problems happen, like what's normal, what's not normal. And thankfully with my oldest, she's getting very close. to hitting womanhood, and so I'm really nervous about it. But can't imagine having a 30-day period. Yeah, it was awful, especially during the summer. All I wanted to do, of course, as a kid, was go swimming, and I couldn't because my mom wouldn't let us use tampons either, and I couldn't anyways because I was such a heavy bleeder. I couldn't even use a tampon. I leaked right through them, and I just bled right through them. So they weren't even an option, even if I wanted to, which I didn't. But I did try it one time, and that's when I found out that I couldn't use a tampon because my periods were just so heavy that it just went right through, and I was just leaking everywhere, and I couldn't even get into the pool. So that was a fun teenagehood. I have cancer as a kid, and I've been through multiple insurances, so some of the stuff we've lost. Oh no, but it's so hard, and I'm allergic to some medicines. I have the stomach reactions. Oh man, Julie, I am so sorry. Medical problems. Oh gosh. I'm anemic too, but I'm the opposite. I'd go a month without my period. Oh wow. Have you been diagnosed with anything, Denise, yet? Because that could also be endometriosis. I've had several family members, cousins, sister-in-laws, family members, friends, and all kinds of people that I know that have endometriosis, and they have very irregular periods where they'll either go months without a period, a month with a barely existent period, or sometimes with a very heavy, very painful period as well. And that is all part of endometriosis, where it just totally... Yeah, I've been diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. Really? Hyperthyroidism can fuck up your period. Damn. Anything can fuck up your period. Isn't that just like the total bullshit? Like, if you're too stressed, you could skip your period. If you're pregnant, you could skip your period. If you're going through a move, you could skip your period. If you are traveling a lot, you could skip your period. And it's just like, well... and then it's like, oh, if you have cancer, you could skip your period. If you have a serious disease, you could skip your period. It's like, can we refine the details a little bit? Oh God. Like, having that talk with my oldest too was not fun because she wanted to learn more about it. She was asking me and everything. I was like, are you sure you want to talk about this? Because I won't filter. And she's like, that's why I'm asking you, because you won't filter. And I was just like, fair enough. All right. So we got talking about like how it's really hard to know whether or not you're pregnant, or if your period's just late, or if you're having a miscarriage, or if you have some sort of medical problem, or if you possibly have cancer, or if you possibly have a growth, or if you possibly have something, it's like, there's so many things that could be wrong with you, and you would have no freaking clue. And I mean, I get it. That's why we have annual pap smears and everything. It's the whole thing of like checking and making sure that you're not developing any problems, because your body just has a really messed up way of letting you know. With one way, it could be a whole array of problems. And yeah, because actually just last month, I was 5 days late for my period, and I've never been 5 days late for my period. I've been up to 3 days late on my periods, never 5. And I freaked out because I thought I was possibly pregnant, and I did not want to have another child right now. I actually don't want to have another child, period. I'm good with just my 2 kids. I love them to death, and I'm perfectly fine at 2. And my fiance, he has a daughter as well, so we would be 3 altogether. And I'm like, 3 is a good number. Let's just stop there. But yeah, my period was just late. That's all it was. I was just 5 days late, and that was the hormone change that I went through. My hormones are all over the place now because I think I might be in the early phases of starting an early menopause, because my mom was around my age when she started her early menopause too. So I'm like, great. There are so many things that could be wrong with you, and we have no clue. Yeah, seriously, Kirby. Seriously. Being a woman sucks. It's just shitty. Granted, there's perks, but it also just really sucks. As a male, I don't know I don't know how it is to go through it, but I have lots of sisters, and it's really sad to see them being so much pain. Oh God, yeah. It's really, it's different for everybody though. It's like some people, I have seen women that hardly get any cramps. My best friend, Emmy, she hardly gets any cramps. When she says that she's cramping, it's like, oh wow, you're actually cramping this month? And it's just like one of those things. But like for my best friend Kari, it's pretty much almost guaranteed that she's gonna have a really painful period to where like she just like she's totally incapacitated. Like she can't move, she can barely breathe without being in immense pain, and it's really intense for her. Whereas for me now, I mean, everything's corrected for me now to where I have normal periods. Some periods are more painful than others, and some I'm heavier than others as well. So it's like it's different each month for me. But thankfully, no more 30-day periods. Thank God. Um, but yeah, so it's like for me, it's like when I have a really bad period, it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be, and so it's like I know my limitations on that. When I do get my period, my cramps are so horrible. I'm gonna bawl crying because no pain medications help. Mm. Do you bleed like a lot too, Denise? Because that could be endometriosis. Kari's sister Christina, she just got diagnosed with endometriosis, and she's 22. She's gonna be 23 this year actually, and so I would definitely see it if you haven't already gotten tested for it, and if you came out negative, that's totally fine. But if you haven't yet, I do recommend that you do, because that does also sound like, yeah, it could be a mix of the hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism as well as endometriosis, because that heavy pain and bleeding and everything, along with having irregular periods, it could be just the hypothyroidism, but it could also be endometriosis. And just having that diagnosis allows you to have options as to what to do with it. So that's why I feel it's important to know what your diagnosis is. For me, it was I hate the name of it. It's like, of all the names, I got the diagnosis of dysmenorrhea. Sounds like diarrhea, but it's dysmenorrhea, and it's just very heavy bleeding, heavy cramps, and oh, hey, Amanda! We're having a period talk. So yeah, I was diagnosed with dysmenorrhea, which is all that stuff, and it's even said like irregular or abnormally long periods, painful cramps, heavy bleeding, all that stuff. And so I was put on more a holistic route, where I went to a chiropractor kinesiologist, and I gave them my diagnosis, and they gave me this herbal pill called Ovex. And I'll never forget the name of it, because as soon as I started taking it, my periods were shorter and shorter and shorter. And what the doctors and the kinesiologist, the chiropractor, determined was that my brain and my body was just not sending the correct signals to stop the period. And I won't be getting that for the next 9 months. Are you pregnant? You're pregnant! Amanda! Are you? Girl! Girl, I need a response. I need a response. Oh my God, congratulations. Oh, you're gonna be such a great mommy. Oh my God. Congratulations, hon. I know Amanda personally, guys. Sorry if it's a little weird, but I know Amanda personally. She's a sweet, sweet lady, super amazing, and now she's pregnant. Oh my God, congratulations, Amanda. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud. Yeah, you got him. Oh, Aunt Nancy, oh my gosh. Oh, I love you. I miss you so much. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Proud of you too. You got him. But oh my gosh. That is so great. But yeah, actually, with the subject of pregnancy too, that like yeah, having the diagnosis of endometriosis too allows you to have the options too of like knowing whether or not your chances are of being pregnant, and if you do get pregnant, also you will be on a high risk pregnancy list immediately, which is good for you because if anything goes wrong, you will have medical attention immediately for you. So that's why also the diagnosis is really good for you. Yes, please text me. Oh my God. So happy for you. But yeah, having that endometriosis is a diagnosis is very important for that fact of like if you want to have a kid, it won't be impossible. A lot of people say you'll never get pregnant, but that's not true. Part of my diagnosis was that I wasn't supposed to get pregnant because also part of it was having a large amount of ovarian cysts at a very young age. I was 12 years old with ovarian cysts the size of a normal 30-year-old woman's. So that was what I was dealing with. I wasn't supposed to get pregnant at all. I was told that I would not be able to have any kids, and if I would, it would be a very difficult process, and I would probably be high risk because I would probably miscarry a lot. I've only miscarried once in my life, and that was actually because I was drinking 3 energy drinks a day, and I did not know I was pregnant at all. So that was because of that, which really sucked. It put me in a whole like really bad place for quite a few months. But it did work out for the best because I was in an abusive relationship at that time. So it worked out for the best, even though it was very sad at that time in my life. But like I said, worked out for the best. It was not meant to be, and that's totally fine. I love my 2 kids, love them to death, and I'm good at 2. I'm serious. I'm solid at 2. I don't need any more. These kids, they are handfuls enough as is. I mean, I'm out here trying to make my oldest a staff for a freaking costume, and now I'm gonna have to borrow somebody's power tool. Oh, these kids are gonna be the death of me, but that's okay. As long as I go first. Because nobody should ever have to bury a child. That's awful. I feel terrible for anybody who has to go through that. So it's like, no, as long as I go first, you kids are fine. Once they're grown, once they're older, they can handle themselves, then I can go. This got dark. I'm sorry. I'm horrible. I'm the worst host ever. I talk such dark shit. Oh, Julie Royce says, congratulations, Amanda. I know this is like my 3rd cigarette out here. I brought 3 out here for the purpose, and it's been 2 hours, really, Sarah? 2 hours that I've been out here now, so. But I'm the worst like live streamer ever. Talking about freaking death and everything, like I'm laughing over here like a fucking buffoon. Well, it's one thing we all have in common. As long as you're alive right now watching this, we're all gonna die at some point. Oh, is that you, Amanda? Yep, that is. Okay, I'll message you in a little bit. I promise. But yeah, I always like to view death in a humorous way, which is probably why I'm so macabre and morbid. I'm just so messed up in the head. Yeah, I will respond to you very soon, Amanda. I promise. I promise. You're not the worst. You're entertaining. Oh, thank you, Charlie. You're so sweet. I don't know. I always feel like I take it too far. Because I can almost feel the awkwardness in some groups of people. Like I'll feel them just being like, "Wow, you're really comfortable with talking about death." Oh God, you guys are so sweet. Thank you, Amanda. I really don't think it's necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily okay to be as comfortable talking about death as I am, but at the same time, it's the one thing we all have in common. As everybody that is alive today is going to die someday. And I think that that is one of the most humbling thoughts that people can have, is just realizing we're all going to die one day. We're all going to die different ways, but it's guaranteed we're all going to die. Just, you know, yeah. I love your lives, especially when we get into deep thoughts of life. Yes. Get deep into the thoughts of life. Yes, absolutely. I'm one of those that, like, I can have a really deep conversation while also being incredibly joking. Like, I can really mess up. I can really mess up somebody's thoughts on certain things just because, like, I'll be talking about death and laughing my ass off while at it. But yeah, speaking of death, any recent paranormal happenings lately? Yes, there was. What was it? There was something that happened. Who was it? I can't remember. Somebody, I think it was my mom. Because anytime anybody mentions anything paranormal, my mom's just like on it. She's like, oh, Sarah, you need to read this, or you need to talk to this person. Oh, it was a friend of mine. His name is Ed. I think I mentioned him before on this channel. He actually had a very strange thing happen through his baby monitor recently. I saw it on his Facebook post. And he was just like, I was freaked out and everything. And I'm just like, can I come over and play with your baby monitor? I'm so awkward. I'm sorry. It's like, oh god, because he said like he heard like a woman like moaning or like a whispering or something, and then a female scream through the monitor, and so it was definitely something that would not be normally heard through a baby monitor, even if it was like interference through radio waves, which does happen. A lot of people don't realize that baby monitors are on radio wavelengths like radios. So, oh, thank you, Julie. You're so sweet. So baby monitors, you know, a lot of people tell me all the time, they're like, oh, I hear weird shit. I'll hear music through it randomly, and sometimes I'll hear people talking, and I'm just like, well, yeah, it's through a radio wave. So if you're close to a frequency that's an actual radio station, you'll get that interference sometimes where it'll sound like people talking or music playing when it's actually just you're too close to an actual frequency of a radio station. So when you're on an actual clear radio station and you're not like having that interference of anything, you know, above or below that frequency that you're at, and then something like that happens, to me it's fascinating. And I'm just like, ooh, I'm like,
Can I come over and play with your baby monitor?
like the fucking weirdo that I am.
Let me play with your gadget.
But yeah, I told him, I was like, that's really fascinating. Like, it's really cool how that works, and like how they can use that as a way of communicating. Because also these baby monitors nowadays, they have like an anti-static, so that way you have a clearer frequency to hear when your baby's crying, and you don't have that interference of static and white noise. And it doesn't mean that the white noise is not happening. It's just that they have a device in there that cancels out that white static noise, so you have a clear, crisp sound all the way through. And I love that, because that means that there is still white noise happening. There's just a device in there that's canceling that noise out. So my theory is that with the white noise still happening, it can still allow spirits to use that white noise as a way of communicating through. And as long as they are loud enough, it'll cancel out, their sound will cancel out what the monitor is pushing back, because it's like a sound that it just straight up cancels out. So once it goes up above that noise level, it can skip over that device that's canceling out the white noise and still come through. And that's what makes it cool. And it's almost like a spirit box, but without all the noise. So yeah, I like baby monitors. They're fun. It's like, see, you can have paranormal equipment without it being paranormal equipment. And that's one thing that I love about paranormal investigating is that fact alone. Like you can go to a hardware store and get a lot of the equipment that you need. Sorry, I'm rambling again. But yeah, the more you know, the star passing by.
The More You Know, brought to you by Yinyangsara of YouTube. Like and subscribe.
Sorry. Now all I can think of is the movie Signs with the baby monitors. Oh my god, Signs! I actually liked that movie until I think it was the end of it that killed it for me. Like most horror movies for me, the ending just kills it. I think it's funny that I would never go to one of those haunted Halloween attractions because they scare me, but I'd be down to go ghost hunting. Oh, you know what, Brianna? I actually am very critical. Horror movies and those haunted house attractions, I'm so critical. I go in there and I'm just like, yep, I can see you around the corner. Yep, there's a guy up on the roof. Yeah, there's a little device there that's going to be a motion sensor. I can see it already. I see that little red light. They did not put a tape over that red light. They should. Because I can see that. Like, nothing scares me. Like, I'm just like, I'm always a very observant person, too. So it's like, I go into these places and I just see everything without even trying. And it kind of ruins the experience for whoever I'm with, which I feel bad for. I've learned to keep it to myself. So I don't ruin it for others anymore. But I seriously, I don't. I just go in there and I'm just like, yep. And horror movies, there was actually one horror movie that was really good, and it was an indie film. It was called Stillborn. If you guys can look it up at any point in time, I highly recommend that you do. It's a beautifully made indie film that I had the pleasure of seeing with the director in the theater itself, because I went with my fiance, who's also a director. He does a lot of indie work, so I get to see these short films and I get to see these indie works, and Stillborn was just amazing. It was one of the best horror movies I've seen in a long time. I mean, the whole story, the plot, the build up, the climax, the aftermath, and the final scene. It was just, it was beautiful. It was so good. I walked out of there creeped out, and my brain was thinking like, what happened? Like, what did that person go through and everything? Like, I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but it's so good. If you get a chance to see it. It's so good. Even though Demon House is a documentary, it's not a horror film. It does kind of give that horror film vibe. So it's really good. It will freak you out. Demon House is another good one I recommend. I think, sorry. The comments just popped up because I had a notification. I thought somebody commented. I was going to reread that again, Brianna. Sorry. But yeah, no, I'm just one of those people that I'm just obnoxious when it comes to certain things. Horror movies and, haunted house attractions. I'm so obnoxious with. But I do have to apologize, you guys. I am coming up on 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I feel terrible, but I do have to let you guys go. My phone battery is down to like 15%. Oh, Charlie says, the only horror movie I refuse to watch is Insidious. I couldn't sleep well without a light on for a good month and a half. Demon House is available on Prime. Yes, it is. It's on iTunes as well still, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is still available on iTunes as well. Prime and iTunes. I've heard a lot of good things about Insidious. I haven't seen it yet because I saw some of the makeup that was done for the demon and everything, and I was just like, maybe not. Because again, I'm hypercritical. But I do plan on seeing it because I hear a lot of good things about it from a lot of people. So, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. But Paranormal Activity came close. The very first one. None of the others. The very first one came close. I loved it. because it was very relatable. A lot of the things that happened in there can actually happen during a demonic possession in a house, but the ending killed it. The alternate ending, if you haven't seen it yet, I won't spoil it for you, but the alternative ending, or alternate, words. The alternate ending.
You still yakking to this?
I am, but I gotta close it out because my phone's about to die. I wasn't that scary in theory, but the psychology about it gets in your head. I'm sure. Yeah, horror movies to me are good horror movies if they get in your head. For me, that's a biased thing. It will always be a really awful horror movie for me. I mean, as far as me being terrified, I was absolutely terrified because I hate clowns. I can deal with clown mannequins. That doesn't really bother me. People dressed as clowns terrify me. Absolutely cannot stand it. I can't get near them. I freak out. I start shaking and everything. But is the first part the one with the couple? Yes. The first movie is the one with the couple. The original It is what got me into being afraid of clowns when I was like 4 years old, was when I saw it. But I'm sure if I saw it now as an adult, I would just be like, because even Tim Curry said it was awful. So I'm sure I would just be laughing at it now, but people dressed as clowns terrify me. So, but yeah, Paranormal Activity, the alternate ending was perfect, and that's the ending that they should have gone with. The actual ending that they showed in the theaters, I felt killed it for me. I hated it. As soon as that ending happened, I was happy all the way until that ending, and I was like, this movie sucks. It sucks. It's awful. I wasted my money. I wasted my time. But when I saw the alternate ending, I was like, that's the ending they should have gone with, because that is definitely a lot more realistic as to what would happen with somebody being in a demonic possession in that such of an extreme state. So personally for me, that's where I get hypercritical. Being in the haunted house industry, I understand. I go through the haunted houses and I do not get scared. I also look at all the details. I spend doing it since I was 15 years old. Wow. Well, Julie, you know what? I commend you. That is awesome. I mean, I'm not saying that I hate those haunted houses attractions. They're not for me, because I'm so hyper alert and I'm super aware of my surroundings at all times. I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan, like ever since I was like 10 years old. So like I started like making myself be more and more observant, and so like now it's just a habit. So I mean, there's actually a house in my neighborhood. Actually, it's not in my neighborhood. It's a neighborhood near mine. But this house, oh my God, every year they make this house amazing, and they even turn their house into a haunted house attraction, and everybody in the neighborhood always gives it rave reviews of it being absolutely terrifying, making even adults piss themselves. And my mom was telling me about this just today, and I was like, I want to go. I want to go in there so bad. Like, I love this house. They have it decked out so awesome. I hope maybe one day I could talk to the homeowners, and maybe even get like a little interview to put on my channel for you guys, because they are just awesome. They are so cool. They're so fucking awesome. I love it. The only customers that I hate are the drunks, or guys that now once they get scared, they try to act macho and yell, "That's not scary." Yeah. Or they try to punch the actors because they think they're all big and bad, and it's just like, what are you trying to prove? You know where you're at. You know what you signed up for. Why are you trying to hit somebody? They're just doing their job. They're doing what they're paid to do, and you paid to get yourself in here. So what are you doing? What are you trying to prove? Like, just to show how much of a douchebag you are? Like, you're doing a great job. But yeah, anyway, I do have to go, guys, because my phone is dying. I am so sorry, but yeah, Amanda, I will be messaging you back. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for dealing with my absences and everything. I'm probably going to be absent again this week, because starting tomorrow is the formal bachelorette party for my best friend, and from there on out is just going to be strict wedding stuff. So I'm going to be helping her with anything and everything that she needs. And then the night before the wedding, we're spending the night at her to-be sister-in-law's house. So I don't know if I'll have time to do another live stream. I will try. I promise you guys, I will try. I might just be a little exhausted. So if I do, it might be very short. So brace for that. It might be after the wedding though too. So it might be sometime next week. Again, I might be exhausted to where I just don't want to do anything. So I'm going to try to push myself though, because I need to. I need to just light a fire under my ass more often. So I'll be doing that for you guys. I love you so much. I'm starting to lose my voice, as you can hear. I'm talking too much. I love you guys so much. See you soon, Sarah. Have a great rest of your day. You too, Denise. You as well, Charlie, Kirby, everyone. Love you guys so much. You guys are so awesome. I'm so thankful that you guys are so just interactive with me. You guys are just the best. You too, Brianna. You too. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Mwah! Love you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one. Yin Yang is balance, and the balance lies within yourself. Love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Mwah!